Hello, I'm Jim Amon. I have recently published a book through the Sourland Conservancy called Seeing the Sourlands. It's a collection of 64 essays and well over 100 photographs that I've taken, all of them dealing with plants and animals and natural processes that occur in the Sourland region. The book was published in December, and it seems to have hit a chord. There are a lot of people who are interested in the Sourlands and want to know a little more about it. And that, in fact, is exactly why I wrote the book. I wrote the book because I have, for many years, led nature walks in the Sourland region and found that people are interested, but they don't know very much about it, and they'd like to know some more. I'm an amateur or a sort of a wannabe botanist myself because I did not study it in college, but I have had a career which has been almost always about the outdoors. For 30 years, I was the director of the D&R Canal Commission, and for 10 years, I was the Director of Stewardship for the D&R Greenway Land Trust. After that, I was very briefly a member of the board of trustees for the Sourland Conservancy, and that caused me to have a great affection for that organization. And I was very happy that even when I left the board, they allowed me to publish once a month my Seeing the Sourlands essays and photographs. What I'm going to do is read one of the essays for you today, and I hope that you enjoy it and learn a little something and get motivated to go out and see the Sourlands. Water striders. Water striders are those little critters that you see on bodies of water that just skitter around on the surface. There are many web pages with titles like Interesting Facts About Blank, fill in the blank. I went to an Interesting Facts About Water Striders page and found that I was not being misled. There are a lot of really interesting, even fascinating facts about these little bugs. The most obvious is that they live on the surface of the water and stride across the surface without sinking or even getting wet. How do they do that? Three factors contribute to this unique ability. The most important one is related to the nature of water. Yes, there's the water strider on your screen now. Water molecules stick to each other. The way water beads on leaves after a rain or drips from a faucet in a compact form are examples of water molecules cohering. The water molecules on the surface of bodies of water are a little more cohesive than those without contact with air, forming an invisible, thin skin on the surface. Another reason for water striders' remarkable feat of staying on the surface is that they are very light, and they have 3 pairs of legs that distribute that little bit of weight to 6 areas. Further, water striders' bodies, including their legs, are very densely covered with tiny hairs, more than 1,000 hairs per square millimeter of body. The hairs trap the air, and that adds to the buoyancy of this bug. But how do they move? If you stand on the edge of a pond or stream and watch water striders move about, it looks like they simply flex their legs and off they go. But how does that work? Their movement is almost entirely generated by the middle pair of legs. The rear pair is used for steering. The front pair is used to capture prey. The middle pair of legs pushes against the edge of the little dimples that are created by the contact between the leg and the water surface. That seemed to me to be a weak way to be propelled, but it turns out to be highly effective. Water striders can move at speeds of up to 100 times their body length per second. A 6-foot-tall human would have to swim at over 400 miles per hour to equal that rate. Water striders can also jump. They use all 6 legs for this, and they employ jumps to get beyond obstacles in the water or even to jump over each other. I don't think that I have ever seen a water strider fly, but when I looked into this issue, I got a curious answer. First, several scientists report on situations where a new freshwater body of water is formed, and almost immediately it hosts water striders. One of the scientists said that it is like water striders are always flying above our heads, unseen. But not all water striders have wings. Some species of water striders do not ever have wings. But for other species, broods may or may not have wings, depending on where they live. If they live in a wetland that is susceptible to drying up, those water striders will have broods that have wings. But if the habitat is a stable pond or stream, water striders will have wingless broods. It can change from brood to brood, depending on habitat. The length of the wing is also subject to change. Water striders that live in turbulent water have broods with short wings. Long wings can be damaged in turbulent water. Water striders form calm, but in constant water will have broods with long wings. Water striders mostly eat insects that have fallen into the water, or the larvae of mosquitoes or other insects that lay their eggs in water. This made me wonder just how many insects fall into water. But it turns out that it is pretty common. If, however, not many fallen insects are available, the water striders simply eat each other. They capture their prey with the front pair of legs and use sharp mouth parts to penetrate the prey's outer surface. Then they inject enzymes that turn the insect's innards to a liquid, which they drink. This is similar to how spiders eat the insects that they catch in webs. But water striders are not related to spiders. Both spiders and water striders have too small of a throat to pass solids. Water striders do not bite humans. It is easy to imagine if they were big enough, they would gladly do so.